I deserve lots of money for no reason, just for being me. I deserve the very best life and form has to offer, including having lots of money. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. I deserve to have more than enough before I need it. So, as you might remember from Wednesday, a 10 out of 10 means when you say these words, you know in every cell in your body, every aspect of your being, the words are 100% true without room for doubt or debate. A 1 out of 10 means no part of you, no cell in your body believes these words at all. So without getting a calculator out and doing an exact mathematical average, about on average, what number would you put on these five phrases to begin with? Feel free to type some comments in the chat box to share some of your experiences. Krishna 10, Christina 9. That's wonderful. Alexandra felt reaction to your root chakra. Melanie 4 to 6. Jessica, a lot of anxiety. Sunibala 5 to 8. June 3. Liz feeling close to 1 across the board right now. Heartbreaking, but good to know. Heather, I couldn't even bring myself to say some of them. Elizabeth definitely felt the energy rush to my head on most of those. Debbie, what if they feel true, but it's not true in your physical reality? Well, that's a really good question. So, um, one is most often I would say it's not a 10 because there's some response of it, yes, this feels true, but so if there's a yes, but whatever that but is typically not going to be a 10. Um, and because ultimately, once you know in every cell in your body, every aspect of your being that the words are 100% true, um, now you're moving to that reality. So there can be some time and causation where there's some tension between what you know is meant to be true and what you deserve and what's actually going on in your reality. So there can be a period of tension. So it's not necessarily, there is a possibility you can be at a 10 and reality doesn't match, although it creates a tension. And as long as you're standing in that truth and clearing everything that needs to be cleared and taking
Detox
aligned action and
741
clearing an
page.
action and clearing an action, then that
Yeah.
gap closes. So your physical reality does reflect what you know you deserve on all levels. Most often, when we are not experiencing what we think we deserve, it's because there are still parts of us inside. There are still wounded parts that don't actually feel like we deserve it. We still do have traumas in our system. We still have karmic imprints blocking it. There can be a small minority of cases where we're rather clear, but there's some time and causation that needs to play out. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Heather's at a 0, Karen at a 3, Ricky 52356, Evelyn 4, Tasia, feel good and sometimes tingly, Kamara 10, Sangeetha 5, Jimmy, after signing up, I'm really high, so feeling these much more than on Wednesday. Thanks for that feedback. So that's a really good point. Some of you who've just signed up and some of you still signing up will have some experiences where when you sign up for the program, essentially you're activating the field of miracles, which is in that container. You're moving into those synchronicities, you're moving into that timeline. So it very often happens. We often get reports of people having spontaneous shifts, both internally and externally. So you could have a spontaneous internal shift where phrases are showing up differently. You're higher on certain phrases. You're more in tune with your highest self. You can also have spontaneous manifestations where people are starting to have miracles and synchronicity showing up even before the program starts. So thank you, Jimmy, for sharing that feedback. Regan, wow, it all felt really heavy. Suava 8, great. Perry 10 on 3 and 2 on 2. Karen, some of them I feel a big yes on the left side of my body, but a strong no on the right side. That's really good information. So let's see where we're starting. You can see here we've got 12% out of 10, 23% 8 to 10, 37% 5 to 8, and 27% less than 5. So in some way, we're going to do clearing that touches on all of these phrases. And also, we're going to spend more time focusing on one or two of these phrases. So real quick, um, please vote on this poll. Which phrase would you feel would be most beneficial for us to spend the most time on today? And feel free to share some comments in the chat box. Tommy, I associate responsibility with money. Lusana, increase pain with all phrases. I want to share just one or two more thoughts as it relates to the contrast between our feeling of deserving and our lived reality. So I was talking about that period of tension that's possible. One way to think about these thermostat settings, it's like if we're wanting to climb a rock face, right? When our thermostat setting goes up, we're anchoring ourselves to a higher level. We're putting in an anchor there. And what happens is there's the organizing intelligence of our highest self in the universe that starts to organize synchronicities that support us in effortlessly floating up to that new set point. And it's also true that we show up differently. So reality is showing up differently and we show up differently. When we heal and reintegrate certain wounded parts, release certain traumas, clear certain karmic imprints, then we take spontaneous right action. We can be in a situation where we're in the same situation or same dynamic, relationship dynamic we've been in 100 times or 1,000 times before. But now all of a sudden we show up differently. We think a different thought. We say different words spontaneously. We take a different action. And our new thought, speech, and action is part of shape-shifting our reality. So it's this combination of synchronicities pulling us up to our set points and our own action, our spontaneous right action in alignment that pulls us up. And then what we're going for is effortless elevation. And also, maybe sometimes there's going to be some resistance. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of a speed bump. And then that's where we want our knowledge and tools to do some clearing. Oh, we can clear on this and clear on this and clear on this. That's when we want our one-on-one support from a master practitioner or from a network of people in our community, let's say for those of you joining the program, so that we have the tools and knowledge for ourselves to support ourselves. We've got different aspects of one-on-one support. Of course, people joining the program, you've got group calls with me, but people not joining the program, again, self-practice one-on-one support to support completion of that. So there's the internal shift and there's that process of externalization. So we want to clear, fix the broken reality mirror, don't devalue physical, resist life and form. All these different things we're talking about are meant to pave and clarify that path, clarify and smooth out that path from internal shift to externalization so it can be as effortless, supportive, rapid, and joyful as possible. Okay, so we can see here we have it's very close. Um, the first place winner here is the fourth phrase, which you might recognize from Wednesday. I deserve to be fully supported financially in all ways as I live my soul's joyful purpose. And then it's a tie between the second and third phrase. I deserve lots of money for no reason, just for being me. I deserve the very best life and form has to offer, including having lots of money. So we will spend our time and attention accordingly based on these rankings. The first and last one did not get as much attention, so thank you all for your feedback. So let's say the fourth phrase. So go ahead and say this out loud after me. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. Okay, so let's do some clearing on that. Although now that I said that, also please let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on that specific phrase? I wonder if you all are seeing this. I think we had a little bit of a tech issue here. Let's try this again. So just on this phrase, and feel free to share some comments in the chat box. So the phrase is, I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. Alicia, heart is blocking it. iPhone user literally buzzing internally. Rolando, feeling some knots in my stomach. Angela, I get persecuted and have to stop. Cheryl, I believe it, but have hesitation. Jimmy, definitely resonating. Teresa, mine says yes, heart at about a 7. Jessica, supported by whom? Paola, very uncomfortable saying it. Renee, hardest phrase for me to say. Carol, my throat is getting tight as I read it. Googie or Gucci, sadness. Heather, anger, pure hate. Lynn, not feeling anything. Okay, so you can see we're on this phrase, 13% at a 10, 26%, 8 to 10, 38%, 5 to 8, 24% less than a 5.
Detox,
Okay, so let's move into some clearing
7:41
here. So I
Hz.
invite you to take a nice full
Chanda.
breath. Focus on your heart center and solar plexus. And say these phrases out loud after me. I'm so sorry you're numb. I'm so sorry you had to numb yourself to survive. I'm so sorry you were experiencing more pain than you could handle, so you had to numb yourself to survive. I'm so sorry it's not safe to feel. I'm so sorry when you feel it's always pain. I'm so sorry it's so much pain and so little pleasure. I'm so sorry you want to scream, but no one is listening. So sorry, you want to scream, but your screams don't matter. I'm so sorry, your screams don't make the pain go away. I'm so sorry, the screams just make you hurt more. I'm so sorry, the screams feel like shards of glass coming out of your throat. And the tears, the swallowed tears, feel like shards of glass going down your throat. So sorry you're being ripped up from the inside by shards of glass. So sorry it hurts in your stomach and in your organs. So sorry the shards of glass got into your blood and hurt everywhere. So sorry the shards of glass got into your nervous system, to all of your nerves, and hurt everywhere. So sorry everything hurt everywhere. So sorry it hurts so much to exist. So sorry it hurts so much to be in a human body. I'm so sorry it hurts so much to be in any physical body. So sorry the only time you're not in pain is when you're not in a body. I'm so sorry being in a body connects you to pain and suffering. I'm so sorry you dread coming into a body every time. I'm so sorry incarnating again and again is like a form of torture. So sorry you have to numb yourself to survive. So sorry it all seems pointless. So sorry you don't understand why you have to keep coming back and going through this suffering again and again. So sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry your life and this existence doesn't make any sense. So sorry nothing makes sense here. I'm so sorry everything is upside down and backwards. I'm so sorry things aren't the way they're supposed to be here. I'm so sorry they told you it would be different this time, but it's not. So sorry you feel like they tricked you or betrayed you. I'm so sorry you're so angry. So sorry you're filled with rage. I'm so sorry you're not in control. So sorry life is happening to you and you're not in control. I'm so sorry you're powerless to end your suffering and increase your joy. So sorry it's impossible to fulfill your purpose when you're in this much pain. So sorry the support you need doesn't show up on time. I'm so sorry you always get some of the support you need when it's too late, and you never get all of the support you need right on time. So sorry you never get more than enough support before you need it. I'm so sorry you never get more than enough money before you need it. I'm so sorry you're not fully supported by God, Goddess, the universe. I'm so sorry you feel like they abandoned you here and forgot about you. I'm so sorry you feel like they handed you an impossible mission and then forgot about you. Okay, let's try the fourth phrase here again. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose.
Detox 741 Hz. Thanh lọc.
So, what number would you put on that phrase now? And feel free to share some comments in the chat box. Romy, wow, tears. Eric from a 2 to a 4, Anna 5, Elora 8 to 9, David much better, Gian or Gian getting there over the halfway mark. Rolando, feel more space opening my chest. Smirja, wow, exclamation. David up to a 5. That's a different David. Liz from a 1 to a 3, weeping almost incessantly, but still feels like lots to go. Cornelia's at an 8. Abigail 10. Patrick 9. Indu made me sad. Isabel about the same. Witten feels a little bit better. Melanie 7. Nigare, muscle testing strong now. DT, can it happen to go backwards? So this is a great question. Sometimes our numbers can go down. And most often what's happening is when we first say an I deserve phrase and we put a number on it, it could be that we have some wounded parts inside that have been so traumatized, they're so wounded, they're carrying so much pain that we've had to separate themselves. we've had to separate them from ourselves. So it's as if we put them in quarantine, where we've created a barrier that we can't feel their feelings, we can't hear their thoughts. We've trapped them over in isolation because at that time in our journey, we didn't have the tools or support we needed to process that trauma, that specific suffering. So we isolate them. So then we say an I deserve phrase, and maybe our average on that phrase is like a 5 or a 6. Then we start doing some clearing phrases. I'm so sorry this, I'm so sorry this. And we say the I deserve phrase, and now our number's gone down. Maybe it's gone down to a 3. So most of what's happened there, as we started pouring the liquid love inward, started saying these compassion phrases and trusting that they're going to get to every part of us that needs them, is some of that compassion got to one or more wounded parts that were in quarantine, that were in isolation. And so those wounded parts of ourselves are starting to reconnect in. So then the next time we say the I deserve phrase, our number goes down because now we're actually taking into account one or more wounded parts that we were excluding originally because they were trapped in this quarantine, let's say. So now they're coming back online because they're getting compassion that they've been needing forever, and they're starting to reconnect with us. So now our rating goes down. We keep clearing, and we expect, typically always, almost always, then the phrases go back up and then eventually get higher. And now it's a higher rating and it's a more complete rating. It's keep taking into account parts of ourselves that were being excluded previously. So that's a great question. Thank you. Helen, 5 to a 7. Adriana raised, but not enough. Heather, no movement. Mohammed, better for sure. Dola's at a 10. Smirja, 4 to an 8. MD, I can say I'm not crying over it like last week. 9.5. Uh, Julio, Joyful Purpose is coming back. Elizabeth's at a 9. Kate from a 2 to a 10. Uh, Kamara or Camera, I feel so warm inside each time I say it. 10. We have another person whose number went down. Molly, I cried when the universe left me here without support. Christina, sense of happiness now. Renee, crying like a baby. 5. Patrick, much better. Christina, nausea, hollow stomach pain, tears. Tom feels better, increased from 3 to 5. So you can see here as a group, our numbers going up 22% at a 10, 35%, 8 to 10, 34%, 5 to 8, 9%, less than a 5. Okay, so we'll do some more clearing. So again, I invite you to take a nice full breath. Focus on your heart center and solar plexus and say these phrases out loud after me. I'm so sorry, living your purpose is never easy and joyful. I'm so sorry you're always given an impossible mission. I'm so sorry you always have to sacrifice yourself to achieve your purpose. I'm so sorry you thought it made you better than the others, that you sacrificed yourself. I'm so sorry you thought it made you more advanced than the others, that you sacrificed yourself. I'm so sorry you didn't realize the highest spiritual realization is not sacrificing yourself at all while you joyfully fulfill your purpose. I'm so sorry you had the wrong goals. So sorry you thought the goal was to sacrifice yourself in the most glorious way. I'm so sorry you thought being a martyr brought you glory rather than joyfully fulfilling your purpose and setting a new example. So sorry, that's not how reality works. It must be difficult and require sacrifice to fulfill your purpose. So sorry, even if you want it to be joyful, that's impossible. So sorry, even if you want it to be free of sacrifice, that's impossible. So sorry, there's never enough support for you and your purpose. I'm so sorry you can receive some forms of support, but you cannot receive the financial support you need. So sorry, money only flows to evil projects and does not flow to divine purpose. I'm so sorry the world changed for the better, but you didn't realize it. I'm so sorry money is constantly flowing to divine purpose, but you didn't realize it and were trapped in an old reality.
Detox 741
I'm
hertz.
so sorry you didn't realize
Thanh
there
lọc.
is literally infinite money available to support your divine purpose. I'm so sorry it's hard to see that because you might feel foolish. So sorry, it's hard to believe that could be true. So sorry you didn't realize all the financial support you need has been available for a long time. I'm so sorry they traumatized you into financial scarcity. I'm so sorry they traumatized you into not being able to see or receive the financial abundance that is there for you. I'm so sorry they took away more than you realized when they traumatized you in that way. I'm so sorry they traumatized you into living in a negative fantasy world and they disconnected you from the beautiful, true world. I'm so sorry, almost everyone is disconnected from the beautiful, true world. I'm so sorry, almost everyone is suffering, trapped in a negative fantasy world. I'm so sorry you don't know how to set yourself free and how to set everyone free. I'm so sorry you don't know how to set yourself free and how to support the beautiful souls you're meant to serve in setting themselves free. I'm so sorry you didn't realize that by setting yourself free, you are automatically supporting the beautiful souls you're meant to serve in setting themselves free. So sorry you didn't realize you don't have to sacrifice yourself, you have to free yourself. So sorry you didn't have all the knowledge, tools, and support you needed to free yourself. I'm so sorry no one could do that for you. Okay, let's try our phrase again. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. So please let me know what number you're at. Feel free to share some comments in the chat box. Amy, much better. Niranjana, 10 now. Jimmy, so high. Melanie, 9. Carol, wow. Anna, 8. Ricky, finally a 10. Gian, ding ding, we have an 8. Magdalena, still some burden on my shoulders. Aisha, 10. Dana, no change. Bridget, 11. Mohammed, expanded 9. Helen, 7 to 9. Melissa, a lot better. Smirja went up to a 10 and started from a 2. Whole body buzzing. Gregorio, 9.7. Thanks. David, 5 to an 8. Nyala, better. Heather, this round feeling excited. Cheryl, 8. Veronique or Veronica, Goosebumps everywhere. Ursula, 9. Maureen, 9. Natasha, very light. Uh, Patrika, much better. Number one up. YE, 9. Tom up from a 3 to a 5. Rob, 9.5. David, 9 with pain coming out of neck. Ocean spiraling up. Rolando, images of my family and their karmic patterns came into my mind. Naomi, wow, I'm actually smiling so easily and lightly. Karen, relief. Thane, Molly, heavier chest. Corrine, feeling a warmth in my heart. Gail, stronger. Amy, immense sadness. Maria, I feel a 10, but my mind can't believe it yet. Sarah, more believable. Montine or Montaigne, so much anger. Patrick, yes, 10 out of 10, feeling empowered now. Gloria, 8. Glenda, down 1. Jacqueline, a huge jump that time. Julie, 5. Kate, 9. Different Kate. Now I'm frustrated and angry. Frowny face. Linda, still tears, but a 10 regardless. Ilara, 9.5. Lady, Lady Lou, yet if I only knew my joyful purpose. Heather, 5. Sai, I feel a 10, but I don't know how to feel I would win the lottery. Katrina, 10. Julia or Julio wanted 10, but still not there. Timothy, 9. Okay, so we check our numbers here. You can see more good movement as a circle, 31% out of 10, 42%, 8 to 10, 21%, 5 to 8, 5% less than a 5. Let's say our other phrases real quick. I deserve lots of money for no reason, just for being me. I deserve the very best life and form has to offer, including having lots of money. Okay, so that last one had a lot of drag. So we'll do some more clearing. I invite you to take a nice full breath, focus on your heart center and solar plexus. I'm so sorry, the very best life and form has to offer is not very good. I'm so sorry, life and form is shitty, no matter what you do.
Detox,
So sorry every time
741 hertz.
you incarnate in form,
Thanh lọc,
it's shitty. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry you're tired of trying for a joyful life and ending up in yet another totally shitty experience. It's funny. I'm getting like more curse words here. I don't normally curse so much, but these are the phrases I'm getting. So you can feel free to use the curse words or modify these phrases if you'd like. So the next phrase is, I'm so sorry, you're so fucking angry. That might be the first time I've ever dropped the F-bomb on one of these calls. It's just so clear though. I'm so sorry you're so fucking tired of all this shit. So sorry you're exhausted. I'm so sorry you've been beaten down in this life and in so many other lifetimes. So sorry you're so fucking tired. I'm so sorry you want to give up. So sorry there's no point in hoping anymore. I'm so sorry hope leads to suffering. So sorry when you open your heart and hope, they just shove more daggers in. I'm so sorry you felt foolish for hoping. I'm so sorry you hated yourself for hoping. I'm so sorry you hated yourself for letting them trick you into hoping again. So sorry, hope always leads to disappointment 100% of the time. So sorry, even though you know that, you continue to have hope. I'm so sorry you hate yourself for opening yourself up to the pain and suffering that hope brings. I'm so sorry hope doesn't help, and not having hope doesn't help either. I'm so sorry there's no way to win. I'm so sorry you're trapped in an unwinnable game. I'm so sorry they're laughing at your suffering. So sorry you can't change the rules of the game or exit the game. I'm so sorry you're trapped in your personal hell of this unwinnable game. I'm so sorry you think you might be receiving punishment for forgotten sins. So sorry when you ask for forgiveness, they just punish you more. I'm so sorry your reality is ruled by unforgiving gods. I'm so sorry your reality is ruled by spiteful, hate-filled gods. I'm so sorry you got trapped in the wrong universe, on the wrong timeline, being ruled by the wrong gods. I'm so sorry you suffered in that karmic prison forever. I'm so sorry you could never break free. I'm so sorry no one could ever set you free. So sorry you didn't matter enough for anyone to find you and set you free. So, this is a good time for us to remember we are not validating things as true. We're giving ourselves compassion for subjective experiences and conclusions. So, a phrase like, I'm so sorry, hope always leads to suffering, that is not a statement around the true nature of reality. That is a subjective experience. That's a conclusion that some part of our soul drew after some number of experiences of hope leading to disappointment and hope leading to suffering and hope leading to disappointment again and hope leading to suffering again and again and again and again and again. And then we concluded hope always leads to suffering. So if we give ourselves compassion with that phrase, right, we're focusing our hearts on our solar plexus, we're just pouring that liquid love inside to wherever it needs to go, whichever wounded parts need that specific dose or configuration of compassion. So we're not trying to convince those wounded parts that they're not seeing reality clearly. We're not trying to say, hope's actually a great thing and it doesn't always lead to suffering. We're not trying to convince them. They know. They're 100% sure of what they know. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, right? They know what they know. So we're not trying to fight them intellectually. We are giving them compassion for their subjective experience of reality. They're being seen and heard and loved. They're being met exactly where they are and loved where they are. And that is profoundly healing. At the same time, we're dissolving out those attached traumas. They've experienced these
Detox
traumatizing experiences where the hope
741
leads to
Hz.
suffering, the hope leads to disappointment.
Unlock.
So we're melting that trauma away. And then we're clearing the associated karmic imprints off the lens. So now in our life today, we're uncreating that experience. We are uncreating the dynamic where we have hope for something and it leads to disappointment. We have hope for something and it leads to suffering. So that's a karmic imprint. Our soul's highest expression, our soul's light shining through clearly, is we see something that gives us hope. We see something that points to a brighter future, a bigger embodiment of our highest self, of the highest self of the collective. And we can feel this anticipatory joy. And our soul's highest expression is then for that to play out, for the synchronicities, for our actions, for other people's actions to align, to bring about that brighter, more fully embodied reality, that reality that's a fuller embodiment of our highest self, the highest self of others, and the collective. So by us having that hope, feeling that anticipatory joy, it's pointing us in a positive direction. We follow that, and then that positive potential is realized. So the hope and following that hope leads to greater joy. So So we're not validating these things as true. We're just giving compassion for subjective experiences. Healing those wounded parts, clearing the trauma, clearing the karmic imprints. So now our soul's light can shine through without being distorted by that karmic imprint. We can free ourselves from that karmic pattern or karmic prison. Okay, so let's try a couple more of our phrases. Again, I deserve lots of money for no reason, just for being me. I deserve the very best life and form has to offer, including having lots of money. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. And let's go ahead and try these other two. I deserve to have more than enough before I need it. I deserve big money miracles. Okay, so the one on the bottom of the page here, I deserve to have more than enough before I need it. I can feel some of the objections to that. So again, let's jump into some clearing. I invite you to take a nice full breath, focus on your heart center and solar plexus. I'm so sorry if you have more than enough, that means others don't have enough. I'm so sorry for you to have more, others have to have less. I'm so sorry you're trapped in a world of scarcity. I'm so sorry you can have more and everyone can have more at the same time. I'm so sorry you didn't realize you having more can cause other people to have more. I'm so sorry you didn't realize when you have soul created wealth, by definition, others also have more. I'm so sorry. So often people have more money because they have done more evil. I'm so sorry you forgot the only way for you to have a lot of money is to do a lot more good. Okay, so I want to pause just for a moment and share a thought or two on this topic. One of the way that we are wired differently, one of the way our souls are different, is very many of us have taken a vow that the only way that we can have financial riches, material riches, is by fulfilling our purpose. So we've taken a vow, we can't have money from doing evil. We can't have money from causing harm. We've intentionally given ourselves a very narrow path to material riches. to material well-being. So sometimes we see like, well, look at these people, they're causing harm but have a lot of money, and they're causing harm. This doesn't make any sense to me. Well, different rules apply. We have set things up for ourselves differently. That's not a possibility for us. So once we set that up this way, then it becomes very aligned to have more money. Our financial wealth and abundance, our material well-being is directly a reflection of the extent to which we are sharing our gifts, shining our light, fulfilling our purpose. There's no trade-off at all. We are The only way we have those things is by helping others, by elevating others, by being on an upward spiral with others, supporting healing and awakening for others. There's no trade-off whatsoever. We have more, they have more. We are celebrating financial, physical world, material abundance, and we are supporting others' healing and awakening. It all goes together. It's just celebration on top of celebration, expansion on top of expansion, gifts on top of gifts, abundance on top of abundance. Our highest good and their highest good. So let's try our main phrase again that you all voted on. I deserve to be fully supported financially and in all ways as I live my joyful purpose. So please let me know your number. Feel free to share some thoughts in the chat box. Patricia, 10. Patrick, that's good. Mazzy Star, those sentence enhancers were for me. Rolando, this round of questions was great. It really hit home in terms of rising above scarcity to achieve
Detox.
abundance. Bitcoin and
741
crypto came to
Hz.
mind.
Thanh Lập.
Heather, can this self-built narrow path be implicated indirectly as well, such as a spouse who is very bad with money? I don't quite understand this question. It does bring up an important point, though, meaning I'll share something else which might not answer your question, but is kind of related. So for me personally, I believe the self-built narrow path serves us. So there are some vows that don't serve us. There are some vows that serve us. So this type of vow, I believe, serves us. This narrow path is a conscious choice. Separate from that, we can have partners, other people close to us, whether that's a spouse or a business partner, other family member, where we can have interlocking karma or shared karma, or we're co-creating a shared reality. So this isn't exactly your question, but how does that work, right? If we have a shared bank account and I'm living my soul's purpose and I'm ready for abundance, but they're blocked, they have limitations, they have financial blocks. Well, whose reality is going to win, right? So we didn't get into detail on this today, but that's the triangle paradox, right? Are we in my reality? Do I create my reality, including my spouse and their blocks, so I can clear myself and then their blocks spontaneously clear, and now we're in financial abundance together, right? That's the bottom left of the triangle paradox. The top of the triangle paradox is I'm trapped in my spouse's reality. They're trapped in financial limitation, and I'm stuck in their reality. And so we're in financial limitation together. That's the top of the triangle. The bottom right of the triangle is we co-create based on relative power. It's like we each have a gravitational field, and some of us have more gravity than others. Some of us are bigger planets or have a bigger gravitational field than others. So we're co-creating. Can I be the more powerful co-creator, and can my abundance reality overpower or relatively be more powerful than their scarcity reality? Can I pull them up with me even though they're dragging things down? So it is a paradox, which is all three of these things can be true all at the same time. There's not really a way to intellectually resolve this, but we can work on each layer of reality. So we can do clearings on the bottom left, we can do clearings on the top, we can do clearings on the bottom right. This is, by the way, in those Soul Created Wealth and Planetary Healing programs. This is in the third program, the I Am program. We have a module specifically on this. It's like, how do I get rich when my partner is addicted to scarcity? So these are some of the more, let's just say, a little bit more esoteric or advanced teachings in our system. We do have frameworks that address these types of complexities, this co-creation, this quantum entanglement, observer effect, interlocking karma. And this is a great example of new knowledge and new tools lead to new outcomes. So when we have this broader conception, when we can move between different layers of truth, even though they contradict itself, we can just say, well, this is true and this is true and this is truth. And it's a paradox. It doesn't all make sense. They contradict, but we can work in those different layers of reality in such a way as that we can unlock these breakthroughs. There's